All right. Hello, hello. Trent, aka Mopax here. I was just gonna do this really quickly for somebody, but I figured I might as well make it slightly official. I'll just put it on the channel in case anyone else is interested. So, what this is gonna be a quick guide to playing Crystal Maiden. So, unfortunately, I don't have any replays available lately. I've actually been playing a lot of core roles, but that's been pretty fun. But Crystal Maiden was one of the heroes that I ranked up about 500 or 600 MMR with myself when I first calibrated at 3K, and I felt that I was a lot higher than that. So I went up to about 36 just playing ranked as Crystal Maiden. And then I stopped playing ranked for a long time until about a couple weeks ago, and it's been very fun playing cores and shit. But anyway, I think I have a really good understanding of the hero. Unfortunately, I haven't played that much recently, so I don't have any live replays. But this is actually great. As you just saw, USA, who randomed the Keeper of the Light and then subsequently re-random into Crystal Maiden, is PPD. This is one of his pubs from a few days ago where he was playing Crystal Maiden, so it is ranked. He randoms like every game though, but he always randoms first. So he's not exactly. I know he's above 5K. I'm not sure if he's 6K yet. He might be close. He might be above 6K. Either way. I went through the game, and it is an excellent Crystal Maiden replay. Really good understanding of how to play the hero, obviously, because he knows how to play like every hero. Crystal Maiden is making a bit of a jump back into the competitive scene as well, especially in China. Like LGD will pick her actually quite a bit, and a few other teams. She works really well in conjunction with certain heroes. She's very good with PL, so that's nice. She's pretty good with Clockwork. Storm Spirit's kind of like like his mana, like yes, he uses a lot of mana, but it's very bursty. So it's not exactly that useful to have the long regen. Other heroes that are it's really good with basically anyone who roams. Like if you can allow a hero to permanently roam, like heroes like Clockwork, it's great because usually their biggest fallbacks they have to go home to get mana. And so starting build, you can see starts it with Tangos share 2 with the mid hero. That's why he only has 2 left. And I'm sure if we click, yeah, so he gave him both those 2 Tangos. And there's going to be a fight at the bottom rune. So Crystal Main, 99.999% of the time, you're going to take Frostbite first. So she uses it to ensure the kill onto Atlas. And they'll get it. And then he's going to turn around and probably won't have enough mana. Yeah, by the time he dies. So there you go. So they secure the rune, they win the fight. Crystal Maiden, excellent at early rune fighting. As you can see, Frostbite, 1.5 seconds, pretty good. Total damage of 150, and then the magic resistance. But either way, it's a good spell for fighting. Sometimes Crystal Nova might be better if you can secure like a huge slow while your whole team's chasing 2 heroes. That's when I'd recommend it, or even 1 hero to get first blood. But otherwise, you take Frostbite for this exact reason. So you're going to see PPD. He does not go up to the lane right away. What he's going to do is going to wait for the first jungle camp to spawn. He's looking for the large camp, so probably hoping for a Hellbear Smasher or anything. Actually, trolls give the biggest bounty, this camp, in total. However, we're going to see. You want to pull the lane out, the lane out, cast the Frostbite, start right-clicking this. Immediately, he pops one of his clarities. So he's going to want to start get some of his mana back before he has the aura, which he does now. Also, 99% of the time, you're going to do this. And he's going to clear out this camp perfectly right when it goes to 0. And we'll get the spawn. So he's not even going to bother with the... Is he going to bother the rest of this camp? He might kill the second big one inside. I was wondering if he was going to stack it for Storm Spirit. No, he's going to take the other big one. So you'd have 2 options here. You could either move to another camp and grab, like, if there was a centaur over here, you could grab the big one and then leave the rest of this, but PPD is going to kill the big centaur. Generally, you don't want to spend your time killing the whole camp, but you also don't want to leave just terrible scrap. So he's got, like, this is still like a full camp worth, so it's not awful for his mid-hero. Anyway, and this is what you want to do next immediately. So he's going to start roaming up towards the top lane. He sees that this is not there, so he knows there's a ward around here somewhere. Unless his team pulled, I guess I wasn't looking. Either way, looks like there's no ward, so they're not going to spot him out. PPD going to come in, get the freeze, and he's going to decide they're going to kill the Tiny. Crystal Maiden is just so good early. Allows a lot of early fighting for your team. The exact rotations you want to make there. So hits level 3. Probably going to put it into, I would guess, second point in the Arcane Aura. He might hold it, though. Yeah, he's actually going to hold it. So if you look, it actually doesn't do anything more to creeps when you level up to level 2. So you can see that the creep duration is always 10 seconds, and it's always 1,000 damage. So if you're going to be doing a lot of jungle farming, you're not going to want to be leveling up your Frostbite. Now, depending against certain heroes, heroes that are really mobile, that's when you're going to want to be maxing Frostbite for those games. Like heroes like Queen of Pain, heroes like Anti-Mage. But if there's not a real blinking hero or a hero who's extremely mobile with an escape like that, you don't need levels into the Frostbite. Second point into Aura early is very common, as we can see. It really helps the laning phase. Like you can think when you're playing a lot of heroes, especially people like PL, like look, he has an additional 1.5 mana regen per second. If you look at this, that means his Spirit Lance is just going to be coming back so much faster. Look at his mana bar go. And that allows him to spam out against especially two melee heroes like this, and he can help whittle them down. As you can see, he's paying very close attention to the timer, always ensuring he's getting a stack off, because the way that she jungles is a little bit, like, awful. Oh, unfortunately, now let's take a look at this first of all. Anyway, I'll finish that thought first. The way she jungles is a bit awful because she only kills one creep, right? So you don't want to go to every camp, kill the big creep, and leave the scraps because that's bad, like for your mid hero. You want to be at least getting these stacks where, like, this is a full camp plus all these old scraps that he's been leaving behind. So that's definitely the way to do it. Now, while he was doing that, in order to secure the stack, could he have come and helped mid? Oh no, there's no way. He got Fisher blocked. Is he 6? No. Where are we? Oh, we're only 2.5 minutes in. Okay, so wow, is this mid Sky with Mage? Okay, yeah, this is an awful matchup for Storm Spirit. Yeah, so now if he rotated immediately, he's running down. He's running down. Yeah, there's no way. Maybe no, because he wouldn't have Q anyway. So no, there's no way he could have helped there. You do have to keep an eye on though, and you can see he did immediately run down there. Like he didn't keep jungling because he was seeing if he could help. And again, there's some more action top. It looks like they can handle it for now. PPD gonna continue jungling. Actually gets a nice cancel on that clarity with an illusion. That's pretty funny. Causes the Fisher to be thrown out. Anyway, we'll skip ahead here. So this is generally what you want to be doing in the early phases. And this is the perfect game for it. This is really nice. There is already someone helping top with the Witch Doctor, and you're kind of that 4-position roaming slash jungling. So we'll see he picks up a smoke and a ward. And at level 4, he's going to get that 1-point Crystal Nova. So that's definitely the way you want to go. We're going to be ganking top now with this haste rune. So why did he take the rune from his mid hero? Is probably a good question. So as you can see, does not have a bottle. He's probably bottle crowing. Oh god, does he not have a bottle? Oh, he went for the stick. Wow, he's Star Spirit's having a very rough time. So obviously PvD takes a look at his mid hero and says, okay, you don't have a bottle. So the rune's not really going to help Storm Spirit. He can't gank, right? And Crystal Main's a prime hero to get something like a haste rune and take this gank to the top lane. So level 3, level 4 tiny. He's already got this PL here. The Witch Doctor has rotated Bob, so it's only going to be a 2-on-2 by the looks of it. So Hasten's also great for time to place ward. So Pudge pretty weak. PvD runs right into him. He would have been fogged around that tree. That's why that looks so stupid, because we're in free cam. And so they get the free pick. He'll clarity up, and he might look to smoke bottom. Meepo's a pretty hard hero for him to pick off. Yeah, he is going to smoke. He's had this ward here the entire game, and he knows that they haven't placed one. So he did smoke undercover there. So Crystal Main, excellent hero for ganking the mid lane. You want to wait until the hero walks down into the river. And just like that, so he has no vision up here. You come around, boom, you're dead. Earthshaker's going to come and get this Fisher, but he should be alive. Yeah. Alright, and item build. So, Tranquil Boots. #1 item on Crystal Maiden. Probably the most... It's like her and Lion are the two heroes in the game that if you buy Arcanes on them... Well, okay, maybe some games you'll get Arcanes on those two heroes. Because, of course, Dota is a very versatile game, and sometimes there's other builds. But 99.999% of the time, you will be getting Tranquils on this hero. They're extremely good. The movement speed on them is ridiculous. Dank Meeves Incorporated getting a sweet hook here. PPD Frostbite, so... I mean, not really much you can do in this situation. One dies, one lives. That's how she goes. But as you can see, they give an insane amount of movement. 90 movement speed. Like, have you ever looked at Boots of Travel? Because it's like 100. See that? How absurd is that? So what does that mean? That means for a hero like Crystal Maiden who hits like a wet noodle at 51, like, I mean, that is just awful. You don't ever want to right-click. Right-clicking heroes, like, I'm only if you're, you know, at less than full HP and blah, blah, blah. You want to be moving quickly in the fights, and the cooldowns are short, right? 15 seconds, 6 seconds. You want to be getting off as many Frostbites as you can, and as many Crystal Novas as you can, perfectly placed. And that's what you can do with Unbroken Tranquils, because you do lose 30 of the movement speed. Even just the plus 60 is ridiculous. Like, this hero's so good. But you just want to be surviving in fights. You want to cast a spell. You want to run into the fog. That's unfortunate. Cast spell, run into the fog. Wait, cast spell, run into the fog. Keep your tranquils active so that you run faster. Slow retreating heroes with the Crystal Nova. And we'll skip ahead a little bit here. This is just kind of laning phase. You can see, taking every bit of experience, knowing these creeps are going to die while his mid's gone. And so we'll just, yeah, that's great, Bastion. All right. Freaking, why do I leave on announcers? Hold on. Yeah, get muted. Okay. All right, so we'll see. Just watch the mid. Now, in a game like this, I mean, he dies. Whatever. It's not really much to say about that. It's a mid Skywrath mage. He goes for the magic wand, and he gets the bracer. So this is something you'll see. Um, I'd say about half of Crystal Maiden games, you're gonna want to do something like this. So in this game, why is he going bracer and magic wand? Bracer because there's a hero like Tiny and there's a hero like Pudge. Those are two heroes that they do a shitload of burst damage in like a second. So Pudge, you get hooked, you're rotted, you're meat, fleshed and all that greatness, and then you die. So you need the most HP possible. He's tanked all the way up to 750 HP, which is quite a bit at this point. The Tiny actually wouldn't be able to combo him down. It's about 650 at the level he's at now, so he would live and he would probably get to run away. And that's why he's going for these two items, just to ensure that he will survive those initial bursts. And he needs to live through Silence of Skywrath Mage and everything like that. So you can't initially like go for the Force Staff or the Yules and stuff like that. Some games you definitely need that raw HP. Of course, some games you really don't. And he's really farmed right now. Like, if we take a look at like the net worth, you can see he's really high up there. Like he's above his mid hero, which is why he's losing this game right now. So you can't really expect to have Bracer, Wand, Tranquils at 8.5 minutes in most of your games. Obviously, this is a pro player, so he knows what he's doing, and he made really good efficiency of the jungle. And you can see right there, actually. Let's just, oh my God, Bracer Gaming. All right, let's watch this again. All right, so how does he play this? We're at his player perspective. So this is his vision. So this is exactly what we're talking about, right? So this is Tiny going for that combo. So guess what? Any other Crystal Maiden, freaking dead. But because of this tank ability, he's at 300 HP. The hook misses. That was also very nice. And he fogs himself, so Tiny can't see him right now. And he starts the ultimate. Perfect cast here by the Witch Doctor as well. Is he still inside? I don't think he is. Oh, that nicely placed Fisher is actually going to get him, but as you can see, I'm going to guess he has the points in the Crystal Nova now. Oh, actually, he's just gone 1-1-1. That's, wow, that Crystal Nova kill. Anyway, we'll go back to full speed, but as you can see, that's just one instance of why tank ability is so important in a game like this. Nice hook there. That's so not what you want to do. Oh, PL dives to get a kill on Earthshaker. Is he gonna get the double? Alright, PL's a player. Now we're talking. Bananarama carrying this game. Okay, let's keep going here. Try and make this a little bit more concise. We're going to the mid game. I mean, this is all the same stuff, right? There's fights happening, you cast spells, blah blah blah. Alright, next item, the cloak. This is probably the only build these days. Blink might be important against certain heroes like Anti-Mage that you're trying to keep down. So see, he's just jungling again. We're heading in towards the 12-minute mark. Just going to keep doing the same strategy. Actually cast the Nova, and that's actually not bad. Let's take a look at that for a second. So, cooldown, it's always going to be 90 seconds. So, here's a situation where you'll see gyrocopters do this too. Mind you, the cooldown's a bit shorter. But let's go back and analyze why he did that right there. Because this is pretty important, like in terms of your game knowledge and stuff. Okay, so he's getting. This is a stack he's been working on the whole time. He's been stacking this up for the Storm Spirit. He actually screwed up the timing. He's going to try and save it to save the stack. See how he runs them back in at the 53? I think he does save it. That's very impressive if he does. Yeah, that's really nice. He even slowed them to make sure they wouldn't get back inside the box. Okay, so he's got this huge stack. And he's got a stack over here. And he's basically just saying, fuck it. Like, what's going to happen in the next 90 seconds where he's needed to ultimate? Essentially nothing. There's a Meepo farming. There's a Tiny farming. His Clockwork's running home to base. So he's just going to cast the ultimate, and he's going to get a lot of gold. And this is one of those situations where Like, he knows he needs to make an impact, and so he's going to do it. If you do this in your pub, you're going to get flamed. No one's flaming him because he's PPD, I would assume. Doesn't even kill the small shards. Would take too long. Goes home, 800 gold. So already that's been 30 seconds since he used it. It's already coming back. Fast forward a bit. When's the next time he's in a place where he could use it? Probably right now, right? There's 30 seconds left on the ultimate. I mean, it's a solo tiny. He doesn't even need the ultimate. Ultimate's not going to do anything here. You can see he also did buy smoke and smoked in for that. And now there's 30 seconds left and his ultimate's going to be back. So completely worth it. He gained like 800 gold from this stack. And again, he goes back to farming. Unfortunately, there's a roaming Skywrath Mage. Even with all that tank ability, he almost did live, especially with the cloak and everything. So definitely still good items. Made sure that they did get the kill. Basically traded 1-for-1. Fights. There's an Echo Slam. PvD comes back in, casts the ultimate, blah, 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 blah. Does he have the Glimmer yet? So the reason he used the cloak, not only is it going to help him tank up even more against all this magic damage of the Tiny and the Pudge. Storm Spirit gets hooked. Glimmer Coat. Okay, so this item is the most cancerous item ever added to Dota. It is broken as fuck. It is 1950 gold. It is less than a Blink Dagger. It turns you invisible after a 0.4-second delay. Okay. And then you're invisible for 5 seconds. It's unbelievable. It's so stupid. You have a pretty decent mana pool. You're not going to be able to cast many ultimates, unfortunately, with the Glimmer Cape, just because the costs on that. Actually, he's only is level 1, so that's good. But this isn't for yourself. Yes, it's for cheesiness, like ultimating, and then casting on yourself because it doesn't break channeling. But it's for situations like this where you can just run up to people in the middle of a fight invisible. You can run away. He's gonna pop the ultimate again. So you can see his positioning is really good, right? Like let's go back to this. Why is he? Like let's watch him through this whole fight. Okay. So fight breaks out. He's running down the hill. You can see he's trying to keep his space away. He's trying not to get hooked by the Pudge. That's why he turned himself invisible there. Afraid they might have a ward. So he gets in this positioning right here. Okay, so why is he ultimating right here? He saw the Fisher dropped. He saw the silence dropped already from the Skywrath Mage. Like there's nothing that can touch him right now. The only thing that's going to be able to stun him would be the Meepo. The Tiny doesn't have Avalanche, so you can see he uses it a little bit before. Oh well, I know, either way, he knew it was used. And he wants to get the kill on the Skywrath Mage over here. So, dumps the ultimate. Very good timing. Oh, Skywrath Mage commits suicide with Bloodstone? Oh, nice. That's unfortunate. And then, unfortunately, the Meepo finally shows up. So he'll Glimmer, and he might actually get away. Here comes the hookshot. Oh, he's dead. Oh, you're so dead. That's great. PPD flames his PL a little bit. Alright, so he buys the Glimmer Cape. There's not really much more. All throughout the mid game, like... Oh, they're gonna get a hookshot. PPD was busy flaming. A little slow to respond. Okay, there's a Meepo. Like, that's just Meepo doing Meepo things. He just runs away. But either way, then you just, you're playing Crystal Maiden as you would any other hero. You're coming into fights, you're dropping your ultimate when it's appropriate. You can see the AoE is humongous, and you always want to try and fog yourself. You can see PPD, he's always running around trees, right? So let's go... Oh wait, actually, we can just do it from the free camera. So this is from the Dire Vision. We'll see if we can take a fight, something like that. Leave a nice ward there. Now we got a few broken replays going. That's nice. Unfortunately, this is not the goal right now. So for the past, we're just skipping through time here, but you see that there is no, she's getting dismembered by Pudge. This is a replay bug. Just scrolling around like this. This is not good. Generally, when you're a Crystal Maiden, yes, farming can be very good on your hero. You can see he's probably going for the Yules next against that team. I'd either say Yules or BKB. But he might be feeling he's not going to get the farm for a BKB. But fairly common that you'll see the Crystal Maidens do this. Oh, PPD, are you dead? They're going to commit to this. Yeah, you're dead. Look how tanky he is, though. He takes so much damage to bring down. PPT is very unhappy with his teammates here. Either way, I think that does sum up like that whole early game and everything. That should be pretty good. As you can imagine, they do actually lose this game because there's a completely unchecked Meepo. Like, what is he at this point? 1-3-2, and his net worth is actually below the PL. Wow, I'm surprised by that. Either way, Meepo just does Meepo things. Not much a Crystal Maid can do against a Meepo. I mean, you can turn invisible and ultimate's your best bet. Look at this. Isn't that ridiculous? Oh, he actually went for the Force Staff. Another good item. Good for catching up. Kind of like a pseudo Blink Dagger. Oh my god, that hook though. This game is awful. So what didn't he do in the early phase? Let's talk about that before we end this completely. So he spent a lot of his time. This is generally what you want to do. You spend a lot of time up here. So you have to watch my mouse down in the corner here. I can't draw. Can I draw while it's playing? I can. Okay, so he spent a lot of his time in here, obviously, doing the jungle camps. So it's a little bit harder on the dire side. And then he would rotate here, and then you'd also be rotating here. Now, against the Skywrath Mage, he wasn't really putting a lot of pressure, like, via high ground, because he can sit way back and cast all his spells. But if it's someone like if it's a melee mid, maybe like a Magnus, you can see him playing up this point quite a bit. And then you can make that rotation down here to kill him. He was making that nice rotation over here. Now, on the Radiant side, that's where she's actually, I would say, more powerful and probably more popular, is that you can be jungling these camps, right? And you're a lot more available to the safe lane. Like, you're basically in a tri-lane while you're killing this camp. It's not like this situation where she's kind of a jungler moving over there. Alright. And that's pretty much it. It also gives you some decent movement up to the top. And that's pretty much the only other difference. Item choices, Tranquil Boots every time. Force Staff's great some games. I think Glimmer Cape's making its way. It probably is the first pickup every single game, 90% of the time, unless you really need like a blink to catch someone who's spiraling out of control, like a Queen of Pain or something. BKB is really good. It's excellent on this hero. It tanks her up. It lets you ultimate, lets you stay alive longer in fights, cast more spells. And being able to jungle those camps can be really nice for farming up to an item like a BKB, whereas a lot of supports have a much harder time getting up to that. I don't really like the eggs. I know there's one guy who's like rank 2 Dota buff and he builds eggs a lot of the time. I'm not sure if it's just for trolling, but in terms of the movement slow, it does jack up the movement slow to 50%, which is kind of crazy, and the attack slow to 50%. So I think it'd be a good late game item actually. But remember, you're only going to be using it every 90 seconds, so it's basically 4200 gold for tank ability. And yeah, they're going to lose the game. But other good items, the Yule Scepter, of course, against certain heroes. So you just have to itemize based on the enemy lineup, based on your allies and stuff like that. Skill build. Most of the time, it is going to be this build that we saw here, where you're going to be going let's go back to somewhere where we can actually see the skills. You're going to be going for this like Frostbite early to jungle, right into the aura to help the lanes and yourself while you're still jungling. I don't know if you noticed, but this is doubled for yourself. So you can see that she's oh well, she doesn't have it yet, but she'd be getting like 2 whenever she's giving 1 to everyone else, and then 3, and yada yada yada. And here's another thing, before I end this, I'll let you know about this. So let's look at the scaling of her ultimate, okay? So, Freezing Field, okay? So level 1, 105 damage a second, attack slow 30, movement slow 30%, radius of 835. So the radius, the way this works, find a point where she's leveled it up here. So that's 835, okay? So that's the range in which the ultimate drops those ice shards. And those ice shards that you're seeing drop and explode, those have a radius of themselves of 300. So think like this far around of where they drop, and they do that much damage inside that radius. So it's a little bit RNG, which is unfortunate, kind of, for an ultimate, but the odds of you hitting them are pretty high. It's like pretty decent. Now let's look at the scaling. So at level 2, you're doing 65 more damage with every one of those little random icy explosions. Okay? That's pretty good. Now here's the catch though. It costs 400 mana. I didn't actually notice. Did he level it up? A lot of times you don't level it up. I'm thinking he's probably... Did he even make to level 11? He did. Yeah, and he skipped it. So I definitely agree with this. I'm not a fan of taking the second point because look at 400 mana pool right now. He's if like he is a farmed CM, right? He's extremely farmed. Okay, he has a staff of wizardry. He's got his glimmer cape going, but he has a full wand. He's got a bracer that adds 3 intelligence, and he's also got a staff of wizardry for another 10 intelligence. And still, if he had that 400 mana cost for the ultimate, that's half his mana pool, and then that's what 2 more spells. You probably get 4 more spells with Arcane Aura active the whole time, and then you're like dropped to 0 mana, like waiting for something to come up, right? 200, so much more manageable. Gives you a third of the pool. Lets you cast spells. It gives it time for your Arcane Aura to actually refill your bar and keep you casting spells during fights. So I'm definitely a big fan of not getting the second point in the ultimate. I think does he? I wonder if he ever even gets it. He gets it. Let's see when. Probably because this game was going to shit. I could see that being a good time to get it. Or he might have even leveled up mid-fight. That's another time you might see that skill build. Let's see. The other point is that this game, Frostbite isn't really doing all that much. Did he take a raid at level 12? Actually, might have. Be interested to see why he did it. I would imagine it's gonna be a mid-fight level up, possibly. Thought he might be able to use it to kill something. Does he get it right here? No, he doesn't. Dies. Okay, so he just goes and like jungles some camp when he lives, and then he levels it up, I'm guessing. Either way, it's not that big of a deal. Level it up if you feel like you really need the ultimate to win the game. This was one of those games where they needed a huge turnaround. Like you could feel it kind of slipping away, so go for it then. Other than that, I'll keep this a lot briefer. So I think that's pretty. I think that sums it up. Definitely ask any questions, to me once you see this. Throw them in the comments, or obviously just ask me there, Christian. And I hope this was helpful. All right, bye bye.